Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Tips and Tricks by Ignite. In this episode, we are going to cover speed. Speed is distance traveled per unit time, which means distance divided by time. When we talk about the formula of speed, we should always remember this pyramid with distance on top of speed and time. The middle horizontal line stands for dividing, while the vertical line stands for multiplying. We can remember the sequence from top to bottom by this phrase, Daisy sends tea. When we want to find distance, we cover that part of the pyramid and we will be able to see that it is equal to speed times time. When we want to find speed, we cover that part of the pyramid and we will be able to see that it is equal to distance divided by time. Lastly, when we want to find time, we do the same thing and we'll be able to see that it is equal to distance divided by speed. The below example shows the distance traveled by two cars in an hour. The red car traveled 50 kilometers while the blue car traveled 70 kilometers. We can also say that the red car was traveling at 50 kilometers per hour while the blue car was traveling at 70 kilometers per hour. Therefore, we can say that the blue car has a higher speed, which means it's faster than the red car. We need to know the different types of questions related to speed. The below are the most common types you will encounter. Firstly, the basic speed questions. Secondly, the questions that involve the same direction. And thirdly, the questions that involve opposite directions. Let us try question 1. John took 2 hours to drive 150 kilometers from town P to Q. Then he drove 120 kilometers for an hour to town R. What was his average speed from town P to R? Question 1 belongs to the first type, the basic speed questions. Firstly, we will need to find the total distance traveled, which is 150 kilometers plus 120 kilometers to get 270 kilometers. Next, we find the total time taken. 2 plus 1 equals to 3 hours. From here, we have the numbers needed to find the average speed, which is distance divided by time. We take 270 kilometers and divide it by 3 hours to get 90 kilometers per hour, which is the answer to this question. Question 2. Jess and Henry started cycling at the same time along a 4.8 kilometers track. Both of them maintained same speed throughout the whole track. Jess cycled at 400 meters per minute. When she reached the end of the track, Henry was 744 meters behind her. What was Henry's cycling speed in meters per minute? Question 2 is an example of the second type of speed-related questions which involves same direction. Here, we are given the distance of the track as well as Jess' speed. Therefore, we can first find the time taken for Jess to reach the end of the track. Time equals distance divided by speed. So, we take 4,800 meters, which is converted from 4.8 kilometers, and divide it by her speed of 400 meters per minute to get 12 minutes. We will then subtract 744 meters from the full 4,800 meters to know how far Henry has travelled in these 12 minutes. We get 4,056 meters. We can now find Henry's cycling speed, which equals distance divided by time. Plug in the numbers. 4,056 meters divided by 12 minutes and we'll get 338 meters per minute, which is the answer for question 2. Let us try the last question. James and Sally started cycling from the same place in opposite directions along a straight path. Sally cycled at a speed of 7.2 kilometers per hour. James cycled at a speed 2 times that of Sally. How far apart were they after cycling for 35 minutes? This belongs to the third type of questions which involve opposite direction. Model drawing or simple illustrations are important to allow you to understand a question. In this case, based on the below illustration, we can solve the question easily by finding the distances cycled by each of them. Firstly, since we are looking at 35 minutes, we'll need to convert Sally's given speed by dividing it by 60 minutes to get 0.12 km per minute. From here, we can calculate distance cycled by Sally by multiplying speed by time. 0.12 km per minute times 35 minutes equals to 4.2 kilometers. Next, we find James' speed by taking 0.12 km per minute times 2 to get 0.24 km per minute. Distance cycled by James is then calculated by taking speed times time, which is 0.24 km per minute times 35 minutes, and we will get 8.4 kilometers. Therefore, to find how far apart were they after cycling for 35 minutes, we sum up the total distance cycled, which is 4.2 kilometers plus 8.4 kilometers to get 12.6 kilometers, the answer to this question. That is all. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed this episode of Tips and Tricks. Don't forget to follow us for more tips to come.